going to be talking about mobility aids. I know that I live a very active lifestyle, but I don't necessarily always have the energy or the capability to do things that I want to do. So I have developed a little bit of a collection of different mobility aids that have allowed me to live a normal life. This video was asked for by the BKLY Knight 278, who talked about enjoying walking and hiking trails and all of those things. And I am a big adventurer. I love to do it all. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to help you in achieving the things that you want to do. I stress that although these are mobility aids, don't rely on them entirely, because something that can be damaging to you when you have dysautonomia is when you lack muscle tone. You lose muscle tone because you're not using them, and by doing so you'll actually lose what little ability to control your blood pressure that you had in the first place. So just a reminder, but I most definitely encourage you to use these because they will improve your life in so many ways. And you don't really think about it all that often, but just being able to get a little bit more energy out of your day and having a little bit more energy at the end of the day is so important. If I'm having a bad body day, but I have to go to the grocery store because I don't have any food, instead of forcing myself to walk through the grocery store, I'll actually use the grocery store scooters so that I can save my energy. So it's really about pacing yourself. So I've gone through multiple different mobility aids and have kind of looked at the pros and cons of them, which I will show you in the video. And if there are any mobility aids that I didn't mention that you would like me to talk about, let me know. So I hope you enjoy this video. I myself own a cane and a wheelchair. My wheelchair I got off of eBay or Amazon for about $100, but I actually just looked at Amazon and it apparently is only about $60 right now. So it's nothing real fancy. It's a, what is it? It's a Drive Medical blue streak colored wheelchair. But for me, I really like it because I can do things like, wheel around the grocery store. I use it for places where I know I'm going to be standing for a very long time. A perfect example is Disneyland, where you're waiting in long lines, you're walking around all day long, and especially if you know you're going to have a long day, having that to fall back on or use throughout the day to save your energy for when you need it is really important. And I emphasize that you want to use it before you completely run out of gas, because you want to use it to extend your day, be able to use your energy when you need to. It's a good fallback if you truly run out of energy, but I strongly suggest that you use it before then, because you will feel a lot better at the end of the day. I also use a cane, which is kind of a light body day help, and I use it to kind of stabilize myself and feel a little bit more grounded when I'm feeling that vertigo, that dizziness, that kind of heaviness that you feel sometimes with dysautonomia. They come in all different shapes, sizes, different tips, different handles, so it's a mobility device that you can really customize in comparison to some of them.
My first line of defense when it comes to mobility aids is a cane. I have two canes now. I have one that is solid and one that folds down so you can actually fit it into a bag or even a purse. And it's really nice because they're cheap, they're lightweight, they're mobile, and you get a lot of different variety. You get all kinds of prints and colors and styles, and you have different feet for them. So if you feel like you need more stability, you may have one with 4 points versus one, or you may have a more comfortable handle, or whatever it may be. The downside is that they do provide only moderate support. You're not going to get the same support as, say, a walker. But for just a little bit of a push on your not so good days, canes are the way to go. The average cane is going to cost between $10 to $30 depending on how fancy you get it. The next step up from a cane would be a walker. Now the medical version, where it's simply just the walker without the seat, is going to be between $30 and $50, just looking around the internet. Walkers are nice because you have the ability to hold on with both hands, and it can really support your weight. So if you're severely struggling that day but you're not ready to use a walker, this is a good choice. And if you spend a little bit more money, you can get the ones with chairs so that you can sit and take a break, or if you're sitting in a grocery store or something and you just need to sit down for a minute, you have that option for you so you don't have to sit on the ground. Full-on walkers with seats on them can be anywhere between around $50 to $150. Walkers are nice because they can fold up, so they can become smaller, and they all are smaller travel-wise than a wheelchair. They're also fairly light, so for someone who has fatigue problems or any kind of mobility issues outside of walking, this is a good idea to get. Another nice thing about walkers is that they have all kinds of accessories that you can attach to them, such as bags and totes, so that you're able to actually carry stuff with you so that you have free hands. So it's nice, mobile, and compact, and it's something that you can throw in your car and go. So this allows you to have some independence of your own that doesn't require more than one person. The con for this is that it is more money than a cane, and it is a little bit more bulky, but the upsides far outweigh the downsides. Something that you may want to consider would be a three-wheeled knee scooter. Something about the knee scooter that's interesting is that it is on wheels and it does hold a lot of your weight, so it's a much faster way to travel, and it is smaller than a wheelchair, so it's something to think about. It also allows you to carry stuff because you can attach baskets or bins onto the knee scooter, so you can also carry stuff with you. Something to consider is that because it is a knee scooter, you can only put one knee on it. So if you have any kind of stability issues where you feel like you may be wobbly, this may not be the good choice for you. Downsides, bigger than a cane, and it's more money. Knee scooters are going to be between $150 and around $350, just to put it in perspective. A big one that I've used and I personally own is a wheelchair. Wheelchairs, depending on which ones you get, can be anywhere between $60 and up. The nice thing about wheelchairs is that it really is fast travel. So when you're really dragging, and especially like if you're with a group, it's really great to have a wheelchair because you don't feel like you're slowing them down. But you also feel like you're participating in the group because you're not lagging behind. And it saves a lot of energy because you truly get to sit down and you can fold your feet up or just get off your feet, and this really allows you to save energy so that you can use it for when you really need it. It allows you some independence if you're wanting to wheel yourself around, and I would definitely recommend getting gloves if you're going to do so, just to take some of the wear and tear off of your hands. It's also really good for trips such as, anytime you're going to be doing a lot of standing or a lot of walking, such as Disneyland or other kinds of theme parks or long distance travel. Another great thing about wheelchairs is that they also make all sorts of add-ons where you can add tables, you can add water bottle holders, you have totes to carry things, totes to carry books, bags, you name it, they've got it. So wheelchairs are really nice because you can really customize them. They even make little wheelchair They also make wheelchair sleeping bags, which is really cool if you're in a cold climate. So this one is really one that you can truly customize. The downside for wheelchairs is that they can be heavy depending on which ones you get, and even the lightest ones are going to have some weight to them. They'll also be bulky and they'll be more expensive, but for me, my wheelchair has been used quite often, and it's something that I would definitely recommend for people who are really taken out some days and have bad body days that would require one. For people that feel like they are truly disabled by dysautonomia or fibromyalgia, something that you may want to consider is buying an electric scooter. And this is where you truly get into the very expensive range where it's upwards of $1,000 depending on which ones you're looking for. Something nice about this is that you truly are mobile and it gives you independence because you're not having to be pushed. But it is quite expensive. On a side note, something that I personally use a lot of the time is a shower chair. On the days that I don't feel like sitting on the floor of my shower, I like to use it. And the thing about these are that they're light as well as useful because you're sitting up off the ground. So at the point that you stand, the altitude difference isn't nearly as significant as if you're getting off the floor. And it allows you to wash your hair, shave your legs, do whatever it is that you need to do and not use as much energy. For people who feel like showering can be a little interesting sometimes, they sell shower grips that you can attach, and this way you have a little bit more stability as you're getting in and out of the shower. People with dysautonomia tend to get symptomatic when they bend down to grab things, so another good tool to use would be claw grabbers, where you can grab things off the floor without bending and having all the blood rush to your head.
So there you go, a couple different mobility devices, mobility aids. Let me know if this video helped you, and if you have any suggestions for our next video or any questions that you have, and I will be sure to answer back as soon as I can. So I will see